Hello my loves, let's make a bow. This one is actually kind of been highly requested. It's not a new tutorial. I did this loopy bow back, oh gosh, it's almost been 2 years ago. If you are an avid follower on this channel, it was the snowball bow. But I've had a lot of people ask me to do this tutorial again, so we're going to do it with the Easter ribbon. And I just put together this bow. It wasn't really a tutorial. I had the parts made already, and I just put them together. So if you want to check out this video, it should be up as well now. So this is also another Easter theme. Okay. What I have here is, or what you'll need besides your scissors, glue, needle and thread, your hardware, bottle cap if you want one in the middle, you know, lighter, that kind of thing. As far as the ribbon, I'm using more of a pastel print in this one. And with the bow that I just did here, most of that ribbon came from the Trendy Owl, and this one does too. You see how pretty? It's like a scribble print with the pastel. Very pretty. Okay. But the rest of this comes from Oh My Gosh Goodies. These other two coordinating pieces. Pastel also. Very pretty. And then our focal point bow in the middle. It's a little rabbit with the polka dots. It's not exactly pastel except for the pink, and it's a little bit of a bright color, but I'm backing it with this really pale yellow, and that's also an Oh My Gosh Goodies. And then of course the little bottle cap image, it says Hop. That comes from the Button and Bows website on Etsy that I always use. I use her pretty much exclusively now, so I'll leave her information and all the other stuff as well. And the measurement, okay, the measurements, pretty much the same measurements I think that I use for all the bows. It is 22 inches, and it's 7/8 ribbon, or you could use an inch, you know, ribbon. And basically it's just the loopy bow sort of divided in the middle, and the boutique bow then placed there. And so anyway, sorry I don't have one to show you, and I'm ignorant of how to include the picture in the video. So let's get started. So you want to get your barrette and your thread. We'll go ahead and do the loopy part first. Take your tension bar out, and then you want to arrange your ribbon, you know, basically how you want it, you know, arranged with how the loops will fan out. Okay, so you can heat seal the ends, but chances are you're going to end up maybe cutting a little bit of it, so you can wait because you'll have to heat seal it again there. Okay, so you're lining up your ribbon, print side, you know, all the prints facing, and I mean, this is just traditionally how I do a loopy bow. I mean, you know, some people may do it a little different, so I leave a, you know, approximately an inch overlap at the top. Okay, you see that? And then I just basically get my thread, and if you run out of thread on this, I mean, it's very easy to re-thread it. Alright, so I just, you know, you can go in from the front, the back, whatever, and basically I just surround this at the top there and squeeze it. You'll probably hear my dogs growling. They were good for the first video, but okay, so and this kind of gets complicated because the ribbon wants to curl in the wrong way. So you see how to do this. And then basically, and you can get like a little alligator clip to hold it on there if you know, if you need like an extra pair of hands. Okay, so then I'm just going to tie it off. I know you're so deprived. Okay, so basically your starting point kind of looks like that. All right. So you've got your thread and needle over here. And I always try to make my loops for this particular bow about 2 inches high. All right, so you're going to start with your first. I mean, there are tons of videos out there on this, so I'm measuring about 2 inches. And then I just go around a few times to secure that. And definitely want upholstery thread. Regular thread is not going to cut it. Alright, and it's basically just, you want 4 sets of loops. Well, that's what I do. And then you go on to your next set and stack them up. And by the way, the barrette size that I'm using is a 70mm. You may want something a little smaller. I wouldn't go too much smaller. Okay, so I'm about to run out of thread. Alright, so I've got my first 2 stacks. And so then I'm going to tie this off. And I'm going to cut it right there. Okay, and just rethread real quick. It's, you know, probably a good thing so I can just kind of show you. Okay, I know this is like a huge time waster, but story of my life. It's like no matter how much you prepare, I always forget something. Okay, oh, for heaven's sakes, let me get my doggy a little bone here. She's so spoiled. There, go. Okay. So then I just do my third set and just kind of stack it up there. Oh, and you will need hairspray. Oh, actually, okay. Alright, so basically what I do to reinsert the thread is I just kind of go underneath, you know, and just, or you could thread it back into the ribbon, whatever works for you. And so there you go. All right. Loopy bows are actually, to me, just the basic loopy bow, one of the easiest to make. I mean, it is a little time consuming, but not bad. Very, very cute. There's so much you can do with these. And I'm just trying to make sure I've got, okay. And then we're almost done with the stacking of the loops. I just am continuing to make them. Okay, now you can see I'm all the way down here on my barrette, and that's one good thing about not sewing it, like if you were to cover the barrette, if that makes sense. That way you can slide it down because you want it to be in the center, if that makes sense, and I'll show you in just a second. I mean, if you have a big barrette. And you can see all this thread under here is ugly, but we can cover that up, not a problem. Okay, so that's it. And you can see that I had to scoot it down and center it. Okay, so then I can cut this off. All right. I just have a little bit of excess here, so not sure how that happened. I hate to waste ribbon. Okay, and so at this point I'm just gonna heat seal it a little bit. I may go back and see if it's long enough to do anything with. Okay, so at this point that's what you have. So basically we want to fan these apart. Okay, and in most cases you would go different ways, and you can, but with mine I want all of my like I want all the, you know, the rainbow kind of thing up at the top. I want all the polka dot in the middle. Yeah, it really doesn't matter. So basically it's just, you know, you're going to fan these out. And I see that my loops, I think, are a little bit shorter than I wanted them to be, but that's okay. And four, you know, just 4 sets of loops tends to be enough. Okay. Now, it just kind of looks scattered or whatever. At this point, what you're going to do is separate in the center there as much as possible. You see how I've got my thumb in the center. And then, you know, I kind of hold my thumb there and just fan it out. It's really not that big of a bow, actually, when you consider how big bows are nowadays. Okay, now there's going to be a lot more adjusting later, but at this point, to just kind of get it, I guess, to stay at this level and make the other part of the bow, I'm going to spray it with hairspray. Let me do it off camera so I don't kill myself here with the fumes. And I'm going to let it dry while we make the next little part. Bear with me 1 second. I've got a little table fan that kind of helps it to dry quicker. So, okay. Now to go on to the next part here. This is also 22 inches. Okay, and I have it double lined. Alright, so I'm just going to cut one little angle, and you can do a twisted, figure 8 twisted boutique, or you can do just the twisted boutique. It does not matter. I have more trouble with that figure 8 than anything. Okay, so I'm just going to do the twisted boutique. I had a lady comment the other day on one of my big bows that my video did not help her because I did not, I guess, explain how to get the loops, you know, to be the same size or measurements. I mean, the only way that I've done it is just through trial and error, like I'm doing right now. Okay, I'm just kind of eyeballing it. The only other method that I know of for getting exact measurements, with the exception of those bow making cards or bow makers, the only other way is I think you can do like a crease kind of fold thing, and you just, you know, wherever your crease is, that's where you place it. I've just never really had any luck with those methods. So anyway, I am not the perfect bow teacher, so I hated that I couldn't help her. She said she was going to look for another video because mine didn't help her, and I just told her good luck finding another one. Okay, so I've got my little salon clip here, and I have my little method of measuring, and that looks about right. These small bows, I have trouble hand folding them sometimes. I've got arthritis so bad. So the salon clips are good for that. So I just crease them using this. And then I just, you know, I end up in the back right here, and then I just pull. Okay. And I, you know, I always have like my thumb or something here just to make sure that it doesn't come unraveled. That's why you need upholstery thread for sure, because the regular thread pops, breaks. Alright, so now we have our little rabbit bow. And I always do the same thing with it. I, you know, stiffen it or whatever with the hairspray. I know y'all are probably wondering why I cough and clear my throat and have a raspy voice all the time. Living in the South with all of the allergies and stuff, it's a way of life. We keep the ENT doctors in business for sure. Now with this bow, since it has to fit in the center of that loopy thing, you know, you kind of want it skinnier, whatever. So you want to shape it just like you would, you know, any of the others. And then, you know, spray it. Okay, so that's that. And I actually already have another one ready to go, already stiffened. So, let me see. These aren't real dry yet, but that's okay. Okay. And I mean, really all there is to it is you're going to glue your bow in the center here. And this is a problem because I need a smaller bow. Well, let's see if this one will work a little bit better. I didn't get my loops quite large enough. I think this one's a little bit smaller. So I'll go ahead and use it and stiffen it up later. Oh goodness. Okay, so that's why it's important to get, to get your loops at least 2 inches. But I'm going to go ahead and give this a shot and see what it looks like. It may not look that great, but I'll post the picture of the other one too to give you an example of what that other one looked like. Okay, so I just glued this in the center. I'm just holding it there. And then I'm just pulling the loops around the bow. Okay, so you're just going to continue to do that and kind of place them where you want. You see how it kind of looks loopy all around. And honestly, my loops should have been, these loops should have been a little bit bigger, but that's okay. You get the idea. Okay, so, alright, so that's our little bow. And then what I'm going to do is take a little piece of yellow here, and to kind of cover up that thread and ensure that this stays, I'm just wrapping it around the center, see, and I'm going to glue this down. And then we're going to cover up all that thread with something. Oh, actually I didn't heat seal that, but that's okay. We're going to cover that up. Okay. Ooh, what a mess. I'm going to have to readjust all this. And that's why the hairspray helps so much. Alrighty. Okay, so that's, that kind of gives you an idea. This one doesn't look exactly like I wanted it to, but okay, so basically then, you can cover this with the 3/8 ribbon. And I will have to definitely work this bow a little bit more. But anyway, that kind of gives you an idea of how to do this. And then I have my bottle cap image. That's going to go in the center here. Like this. And that's basically what it's going to look like. I think before I glue it in, I'm going to rework this bow a little bit. But anyway, the tutorial's the same. You basically make your loopy bow, spread out your loops, okay, and then stiffen them up, and then you want to make your your twisted boutique. This one came out a little better, but it was just a little too big. I don't know. Anyway. And then, you separate, put it in the center, wrap it around, and then you just, basically to cover this up, you just put a piece of 3/8 ribbon there. And that is it. I'm going to see if I can rework this one and then get a better picture. Alright, so I will leave the link to all the little ribbons, and please let me know if you have any questions. And have a great day.